Hello everybody, first of all I'd like to apologise for my first video. A lot of people complained about the audio. Hopefully in this video I've turned down the game volume, so you shouldn't hear that as much and should hear more of me. To do with my quality, I can't really help that, that's down to my Beats microphone. So in this video we're going to be looking at 1 lane versus 2 lane. Somebody on Reddit has suggested that could you do 2 lanes and build a long wall to make them walk even further to get to your base? So I thought this is a good point, I might as well give it a go. So I loaded up Ride the Lightning mission on my campaign and thought I would give it a go. So bear with me, I did no editing afterwards, this is just how it went. So what I do first, I plant out my path of where I want them to walk. Next we're going to move on to the wall sandwich. Some people have asked how do you do it properly. So first you whack up the wall. Next you use the floor with the 2 piece. See here, if you have a corner like this, you can do 3 piece and get it just like that. Next up you want to put the ramp in. This is your 3rd piece, so this is now your 3rd wall. So the husk will walk around 3 tiles and finally put on your last wall. And there's your 4 tiles. I'm just making things look a bit nicer here and just going to make it into a triangle. So I've jumped on forward a bit here, I've put up all my ramps, and now I'm going to start putting up my walls for the paths I want the husk to complete. This is how I go about building my bases. I normally do the path on the floor first, work up the walls, have a look around, make sure there is no route so you can go, and I've got my opening just to my right. So moving on, let's put up the walls for the path we're going to take. So as you can see there, we've got a 3-piece wall on the left and we're going to put a 2-piece here. So they've got one little gap. They'll hopefully walk around there, walk through this lane and round to this other side of the wall. You can see we're using a 3 and a 2, so there's only one opening. Here where it goes back to single lane, it's just your usual 2-piece wall. I'm just creating some traps. So you can see most of them are blue. What I'll do is on the lanes where you can see 2 or more tiles, I will put in a dart as they can see over 3 tiles. Another thing is using the low wall, the darts will shoot over the top of the walls. Just to clarify that. I'm just going to jump ahead here to, I've got my bases covered from 3 angles now. So you can see on the map they're coming from the east, the north and the west. So I'm just going to quickly take you around my defense I've made. So here we've just got my usual single lane with a double wall. You can see we've got gas traps on the ceiling, wall dynamos on the wall and wooden spikes on the floor. You see there's nowhere else they can come up, they can only come up that one ramp and into there. So next we'll go back to one where you saw me creating earlier. This is the 3-piece wall and then a 2-piece. So you see the enemies spawn from the top of this ramp, the middle and up the top of that hill. That top of the hill is my only concern, that they may not come into my gap straight away. But this is where we want them to come through, walk through on the spikes. You see the darts there, they're covering them 3 lanes. And this is also covering 3 lanes. 3 lanes, columns, tiles, they all mean the same. And then this is a north defense. I've gone for the same again. We've got a 3 and a 2, testing out this dual lane to see how well it works. I ran up this hill thinking that the husks would spawn here, but they don't actually spawn up here, it's just below down here. So at the moment I'm just showing you where the husk spawn so you can see how I've set my defense and how I'm trying to funnel them into these gaps. Again you can see the darts on the end there, wooden spikes in the middle and wall dynamos on the bottlenecks as such. I wasn't sure how I went this and then I changed it back so it made sure they activated the wall dynamos. I have now started the event. You can see the mobs are coming through the first bottleneck, however some of them are hitting that wall. So even though they are funneling into the first hole, they are still hitting this wall. So I've gone down to give it a repair. I also upgrade them to see if it's to do with the wall's health. I also found that somehow a husk had got into this gap. I do not know how he got there, but he did. So moving on, you can see I'm just keeping an eye on what's going on. I decided to check out the north side dual lane, see how that's going. As you can see, that wall has completely gone. So the husk throughout that going through that wall is a shorter route than going all the way around. In my previous video, I described about when you get too close to these smashers, so then they will charge. You see an example, as he got close and saw him, if he did his charge beforehand, he was just walking through. While this piece is being battered, I am just going to fast forward a bit. He absolutely destroyed through my base, and I'll make repairs before the second defend. So I've gone up to the base where they've already destroyed that wall. Now they're just really taking a big shortcut through the base. This time I decided to upgrade it to a steel wall to see, maybe it's because I used a brick that they thought that was the shortest route. So we changed this to a steel wall. As this comes to an end, we can see that they're still coming through there like normal. Okay, so I've done the repairs to the base, and I've also upgraded the walls to the level 3 bricks to see if that helps. You can see on the single lane, everything is working perfectly how it does at my storm shield base. So the single lane seems to work all the time, the funneling works, they don't smash through any walls, and it's all good. I'm just fast forwarding in a bit here, as there isn't really much going on. The only thing I did notice was these husks attacking this wall where I was earlier concerned. So I put out some repairs here. In a minute you'll see what I mean about the mimics not doing any damage, not doing any of their skills until they see you in their line of sight. You see here, he was just walking through, he wasn't doing anything. He then sees me and does his charge. If you stay far enough back, he would never have done that charge. Just to let everybody know, my weapons are absolutely awful. I don't know why they were selected, but it doesn't matter because this is about the 1 lane, 2 lane traps. So you see the base is pretty battered, but overall the traps are working and the lanes are working. From what you'll see so far, as you can all tell by looking at yourselves, the single lane, there's been no problems with the funneling. It's just this dual lane with these walls, they're just really not enjoying it. They're just not doing as I want it to, they're just smashing, they've even decided to smash through a 4-tier wall there. So as this comes to an end, we do defend the van, but it wasn't as smooth as I would like it to have been. I later then realised that these walls here were perfect. They had some damage, but they were still up. So the steel walls worked a little bit better. So coming to my conclusion, I worked out, as you see here in this example, there are 3 walls there and 2 on the left. This did not work. They were just smashing through. It was too much of a diversion. And the low wall does have low health. Even if you had metal, brick or wood, they just decided, I'm going to go this way. What I did notice though is if you just had a 3-piece wall on 1 tile and put nothing to the side, they have to walk into other tile, but they will not smash through. So yes, you can get a 2 lane to work, as long as you keep it as 3 walls. Thank you very much for watching, and please like this video.